What's going on, y'all? It's Chamon over here, bringing you another new video about different ways I've actually used AI in my business that led to a positive increase of experience, sales, or just overall gave me a actual tangible benefit. I'm not talking about some simple ways such as like making posters and stuff. I'm talking about actual integrations and uses that have taken workload off of me or have directly contributed to greater revenue for myself. I want to start off with the number one thing for sure is building out a website. Super simple to do with Claude. It took quite literally less than a day for me to do this, a couple hours. I had input all my information in there, had it build out a website, and I told it to also optimize for SEO, which is extremely important. I'm saying like the service that I pretty much got out of this, I previously would have paid somebody $1,000 to $5,000 to do, which is insane. So I would honestly count that as 2 points right there because one, building a website, two, SEO and marketing through that website. Depending on what you are doing, if it's like a service industry thing or even food or whatever, you can set up landing pages and certain things so that whenever people search up certain keywords, your business is going to be the first one to pop up. For example, if you're an automotive shop, you can have different landing pages that say brakes repair in your city, and just doing that allows Google to have the information that they need in order to recommend it to somebody whenever they type in those exact words. Super important, but that's 1 and 2 for you right there. Number 3, whenever I'm talking to clients, I pretty often will use Claude. I think it just works the best for me. I use Claude in order to essentially just make a spark notes of whatever the hell we're talking about. Sometimes you're doing requirements gathering with the client and you're trying to figure out exactly what's going on, what they need done specifically, and you don't want to sit there and type up everything, but you use Claude and it'll kind of just give you the gist of it after that meeting is over. Super useful stuff. Another huge thing that I've used, which also led to a ton more, like I'm saying, I probably get at this point an additional 50 clients in one of my stores per week just because of this, which is an email triage setup. Have Claude integrate a contact form through email, via email on your website, and you can have tons of people message that are otherwise not going to call you because they're either looking at your information past times or whatever, but they're very important leads that you do not want to miss out on. Every lead can lead to a sale. Not every single one of those 10 will be the highest quality, but I can usually secure 4 to 6 additional sales just from those leads. So if your business has specific information, such as I charge a diagnostic fee to show up to the house to look at whatever, right? You can auto respond to those requests, so you don't even have to really put a lot of thought into it or really even have an employee do it. Super useful stuff. Another huge use that I always will recommend is onboarding materials. When you are getting going, especially if you're trying to automate your business and set up systems, help Claude establish those systems. I'm not saying make it do the whole thing, but you can very well input the information that you need to and have it design that training material for your new hires. I have done this myself on multiple of my businesses and it is super helpful. Like I'm saying, it took stuff that would take me previously an entire day to do and compressed it into an hour. A big thing that I also will use it for is research and contract and policy review. I'm going to preface this with, you need to also talk to a real attorney or a real professional if you're going to actually make a financial move off of this information. But it is super good to like kind of bounce ideas off of and not have to rack up a massive lawyer fee or whatever just to solve a problem that generally AI could do for you. One of the things that I can say is like with one of my businesses, we were going through regulatory framework and changing laws, and I was using AI to kind of go through it. Now, I'm not saying I was using AI to tell me if something was legal or not, but I would physically go out and pull out the current laws and stuff, and then I would have the AI review that information just to give me a general idea to kind of save on money. Now, I did double check with my lawyer if all of this stuff was true, but it did turn out to be true with the way that I did it. Again, this one, there's a big caveat. You need to not just ask AI directly what to do. You need to direct it and show it the information that it needs to look through, and then allow it to sift through that information and get you the important bit that you need. Another big thing, I always use it to price my services. I'm not saying that you need to make it your end all be all, but if you are providing a service in an industry, you can use it for price market analysis. If I'm an HVAC tech, what are other people in my area charging for a service call? What are they charging per pound of gas that's being added into the AC unit. All of these are very, very valid questions because you don't want to severely undercut your market. You don't want to be charging an absurd amount either. But if you can find that healthy medium, it's very, very important to kind of get that research out of the way. I don't even know which number I'm on. Another huge use that I have personally used for my business. I have literally used Claude to design out a separate system that runs on my own store servers that allows me to track whatever sales that I'm making. The till that I have is not very intuitive, I will say, so I could just spend that money on getting a nicer till and pay another company because there are services like this, but I have been able to use my cheap till system that does not essentially cost me anything to use. I have matched it with Claude in this integration, and I now have very, very, very strong inventory tracking, very strong order reconciliation, and all of that good stuff. It just has simplified my life so much. And to code something like this would have previously costed me probably upwards of $10,000 because this is like really nice enterprise level stuff. We are definitely past 7 over here, but I do not care because there's so many uses. Another really, really good use that I've used AI for is to research a business that I was about to buy or a property, just to get a general idea to see if I could pull permits, get a little bit of information about it, a little bit of history about a property, and I've had success with pulling out information that probably would have taken me a lot longer to put together. It's just super useful. Definitely use it in different aspects of your business. Now again, don't rely on it 100%. I have quite literally corrected AI to its face about something that I know is a fact and I know it's true and I know it's how it works, and it will try and sit there and argue with me. So again, take what it says with a grain of salt. Always do your own research, but it's a great thing to bounce ideas off of. That's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions in particular about any of these points that I've made and how you can do it, put your information in the comments. We'll see. Maybe we can even set up a call or something like that and discuss how we can implement AI into your business. Again, I'm not a guru and this is not like my top thing that I'd be doing, but I have seen success and I've seen actual sales. I've seen actual improvement in the professionalism of my business by using AI and integrating it in smart ways. One thing I will advise against is do not use those shitty AI posters. In my opinion, you can see that shit very, very clearly. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. Y'all have a good one. Peace.